Donald Trump's first criminal trial will begin as scheduled on March 25th. This comes as a New York judge denied the former president's attempts to throw out the charges which relate to hush money payments to adult film actress Stormy Daniels back in 2016. Now, Daniels says she was paid $130,000 to stay quiet after having sex with Donald Trump, who denies they even ever had an affair. The schedule will see him spend weeks in court instead of on the campaign trail as he pivots to a general election campaign against President Joe Biden. Unsurprisingly, Trump claims this is a conspiracy to take him out the running.
This is just a way of hurting me in the election because I'm leading by a lot. We're leading by numbers that nobody's ever seen before. And they figured this is their way of cheating this time. Last time they had a different way. This time they have something that's really down and dirty that frankly, no country does other than a third world country, a banana republic.
Now, with Trump currently tied up in multiple legal battles, blaming pretty much all of them on a political witch hunt by his opponents, will any of this stop him actually getting to the White House? For more on this, I'm joined by Fox News contributor and friend of the show, Joe Concha. Joe, always good to see you. It's just, hey, just one of many legal battles Trump is at the moment. This one always grabs headlines, though, because of Stormy Daniels and because it's a criminal trial as well. Is it getting a lot of attention stateside?
Anything involving Donald Trump in a courtroom gets a lot of attention stateside. This is a case that most legal experts here in the U.S., however, thinks is pretty weak, pretty flimsy, pretty limp at this point. We're talking about a hush money payment to a porn star nearly 8 years ago, and now they're moving ahead with this case in Manhattan. So it seems that whenever Donald Trump does show up at a courtroom and does these sort of gaggles with the press afterwards, his poll numbers only seem to improve, at least among Republican voters anyway, because they see the weaponization of the justice system being carried out against a former president. And Trump is right. If you look at every state by state poll in terms of the crucial states that decide elections, like in Georgia, Arizona, Nevada, Wisconsin, Michigan, Pennsylvania, Donald Trump's leading in all of those polls. So it seems that the only way he could lose at this point, if it's not going to be about the issues of the state of the U.S., where you have Joe Biden polling lower than any president in polling history, will be if Donald Trump gets taken out in a courtroom, convicted and jailed. That seems to be where we're going, and it's just a crazy time here right now.
It is a crazy time. Like you said, he often blames a political witch hunt. He calls it lawfare. And, you know, there are plenty of people who are buying into that argument, the idea that he's being taken off the campaign trail. But as you said there, this is all pretty much part of his campaign. And like you said, it's kind of boosting him forward. What then is Camp Democrat doing to oppose that? To sort of, are they using this at all to help themselves?
They mainly stay quiet about it and allow the American media then to find Donald Trump guilty before proven innocent. And look, there's a case also down in Atlanta right now with the prosecutor there who literally, there are hearings going on right now to determine whether she should be removed from prosecuting this case, because apparently she's paid her boyfriend, married boyfriend, more than $600,000 to try a felony case that he's never tried before. And then it was revealed that they were taking all these expensive vacations in California and Florida, cruise ships and so on, literally with the money that she had paid him to prosecute this case. So people see these things happening in terms of the prosecutors not behaving very well, or again, this Alvin Bragg case in Manhattan about a hush money payment from 8 years ago, and they say, wait a minute, this seems to be more like election interference than about the law and justice at this point. And Donald Trump, again, he now is almost being seen as a martyr in many cases, as a victim of this happening. The question is, if he's convicted, how many people either won't go to the polls and vote for him or switch their vote to Joe Biden, if Joe Biden's even the nominee? And there's questions around that right now regarding his mental acuity. So again, crazy is the only word that keeps coming to mind, Rosanna.
Yeah, no, I'll let you say it, Joe, because I'm British. So
thank you.
You know, I don't want to offend your people, but it's okay when you do. Look, just finally, another element of his campaigning at the moment, Donald Trump, is to talk about NATO. He's never really been a fan of the alliance. That's no secret. Now he's talking about encouraging Russia to target the countries that don't fund or pay their way towards supporting NATO. He said it again at another campaign rally, so it's clearly doing something for him. He thinks it's a popular way of getting approval.
It's something he's run on, Rosanna, ever since 2015, 2016, when he says that NATO isn't paying their fair share as far as defenses around the world. And then when he was president, he was able to get the likes of Germany and other European nations to pony up more. So it seems like he's making that same argument. Where it's ill-advised, of course, is when you start talking about, hey, I'm encouraging Vladimir Putin to go into Poland and, Eastern Europe. That's he can make the point without saying that he's encouraging Russia to attack these nations. I understand the overall point that the U.S. can't carry an overwhelming majority of fiscal responsibility as far as NATO is concerned, but there are better ways for him to articulate that argument. That's certainly for sure.
Very diplomatically put, Joe, and I can tell you how those comments went down this side of the Atlantic, as you can imagine. Look, Joe Concha, it's always great talking. I'm sure we'll be talking a lot in the coming months.